Official. Here is the Champions League Team of the Week. Since the abolition of the away goals rule, every team that has won the first leg by a 3-goal margin has qualified for the next round of the Champions League. Official. Here are the nominees for Champions League Player of the Week. Federico Valverde, Michael Ollis, Julian Alvarez, and Kvicha Kvaratskhelia. UEFA has proposed that the finalissima be held at the Santiago Bernabéu Stadium. Jeremy Doku. It was difficult for me during the match. They were constantly coming at me with 3 players. Thiago Pitarch has become the youngest Spanish player for Real Madrid to start a Champions League knockout match, breaking the record set by Raúl in 1996. The jewel of La Fabrica, Thiago Pitarch. I'm grateful to Arbeloa, and I always try to pay him back. He advises me to play the way I know how, to have a strong personality, not to let the ball control me, and to play with a fighting spirit. He congratulated me on the match. Real Madrid is opening the door for an Eduardo Camavinga departure this summer. His price is set at 50 million euros. Kylian Mbappé is feeling good and could be in contention for the return leg against Manchester City. In the club's inner circle, they say they are pleasantly surprised by his ability to recover so quickly. He should even be in Didier Deschamps' squad list for the friendly matches in the United States against Brazil and Colombia at the end of March. Manuel Angel could be a starter against Elche. Here is the trend for the Champions League quarterfinals. Vinicius joins Cristiano Ronaldo. Decisive at least 10 times in 5 consecutive Champions League seasons. Only CR7 had done it. He did it for 8 consecutive seasons. The Brazilian has been a true benchmark in the Champions League these past seasons. Jude Bellingham will be in the starting 11 ahead of Arda Güler upon his return from injury. Vinicius wanted to give the penalty to Federico Valverde for the hat trick. The Uruguayan refused. Vinicius asked me if I wanted to take the penalty. He is a very important player and a legend. He is a great friend. The most important thing after the mistake is that he kept running and the people supported him. That's part of football. Official. Éder Militão made his grand return to collective training this Thursday. The defender has been absent from the pitch since December 2025 due to a left thigh injury. Aurélien Tchouaméni had some discomfort the day before yesterday, but he is not injured. It was only a scare. He will indeed be available this weekend against Elche. Tchouaméni. Is Valverde underrated? Yes. Alexander-Arnold. Valverde is the most underrated player in the world and has been for several years. Álvaro Arbeloa. He has everything a Real Madrid player should have. Gianluigi Donnarumma believes City is capable of turning things around after the heavy defeat against Real. We will have to play completely differently in the return leg. I am disappointed because we lost heavily, but we are playing at home and hope to overturn the situation. With our supporters, it will necessarily be different. They must give us an unprecedented boost, and they will undoubtedly do so. They are exceptional. CONMEBOL does not accept the finalissima being played at the Bernabéu. UEFA will be informed of this. Trent Alexander-Arnold. We have to go and win the Champions League. When you play for Real Madrid, there are no excuses. Rodri. Believe in a comeback? Always. You must always believe. Savinho. It took the announcer naming his substitution at halftime for us to realize he was even on the pitch. Endrick since his arrival at OL this winter. 6 goals and 4 assists. He becomes the first player arriving in the winter transfer window to reach 6 goals with Lyon in his first season, doing better than Memphis Depay, 5 goals, in 2016 to 2017. Who is the worst Real Madrid player currently? Tell me in the comments. For me, it's David Alaba, Italian journalist to Valverde. Look, we have something for you. The Ballon d'Or. Arda Güler is the player with the most chances created in the Champions League this season after the round of 16 first legs, 28. Arda Güler has 13 assists for Real Madrid this season. That is more than any other player. Real Madrid is the most followed football club in the world on Instagram. Endrick. I knew I had a chance to score. I'm a number 9, so I shoot, and I shoot again, and it will eventually go in. Ferland Mendy disappears for 4 months. reappears on the most important day of the year and humiliates the Manchester City guys for 45 minutes, then leaves with an injury. This guy has infinite aura. Thiago Pitarch, my role models? Luka Modric, Cristiano Ronaldo, Toni Kroos, and Sergio Ramos. They marked an era at this club and in the history of football. Arda Güler's marking of Erling Haaland on corners was not a mistake, but a carefully prepared plan. Álvaro Arbeloa and his staff analyzed that Haaland is not particularly effective with his head on corners or set pieces. Pep Guardiola often uses him to do the dirty work, acting as a screen to free up other players. Arbeloa therefore did not want to waste his tallest players on Haaland and preferred to task them with marking Rodri, Mark Gate, Antoine Semenyo, Ruben Dias, etc. Antonio Rudiger to Aurelien Tchouameni before the first leg against Manchester City. Let's go. If we have to run, we run. If we have to die, we die. Federico Valverde. To be honest, when I scored the second goal, I didn't know what to do. I thought I was living a dream. I couldn't believe it. I didn't know how to celebrate or where to go. My favorite goal? The second one, because I used my left foot. I rarely use it in those situations. As soon as I get in the car, my kids will demand the ball, that's for sure. It's the ball for my first hat trick. Look how beautiful it is. Even my kids won't be allowed to play with it. What makes me most proud is the work accomplished by my teammates. At the 80th minute, we were all running tirelessly. It's truly incredible. There was a negative energy for months in the dressing room, but now we are very positive and we're going to go onto the pitch to kill. Erling Haaland has only scored one goal, penalty, in 5 matches against Real Madrid when Antonio Rudiger was on the pitch. Thiago Pitarch, Morocco or Spain? I haven't decided yet. I will do it later. Brahim talks to me about it a lot. He is very happy with the Moroccan national team, and he supports me a lot in the dressing rooms. Premier League clubs are already on the lookout for Eduardo Camavinga. Arbeloa plans to rest several players against Elche this weekend before the return leg. Rudiger, Trent, Tchouameni, Federico Valverde, and Courtois could all be preserved. Ferland Mendy underwent tests indicating he has a right hamstring injury. He will undergo an MRI today. Jude Bellingham is not expected to play the return leg against City. Ferland Mendy is also out against Elche and for the return leg against Manchester City. Carreras will miss the match against Elche, and his participation against Manchester City is uncertain. Vini Jr. on Instagram after equaling Ronaldo's number of assists in the Champions League. My idol. Aurelien Tchouameni holds the highest distance covered by Real Madrid players against Manchester City, 11.4 kilometers. After the match the night before last, Manchester City players were asked if they believe in a comeback next week. Foden, yes, of course. Savinho, maybe yes, I believe in it. John Stones, 100%. Bernardo Silva, yes, always. Jeremy Doku, Pep Guardiola knows we are disappointed. He said there are still 95 minutes to play, and we must not hang our heads. We must continue to play as we do, and at the Etihad it will be a different match. In these kinds of matches, you have to score the chances we have. Otherwise, when they have a chance, they score, and that's what happened. Real Madrid was just waiting for us to make mistakes. They are a good team in transition, and they scored 3 goals, so fair play. A comeback against Real Madrid? It would be crazy if I said there was no chance. Obviously, they are a huge team, but they scored 3 goals against us, so why couldn't we do it too? At the Etihad, we will need our supporters to put pressure on them. Everything is possible, so we always believe. If they are with us, it will be a completely different match. Jude Bellingham will recover in April. A subscriber who supports Manchester City told me that Abdulkadir Kuzanov was going to neutralize Vinicius Jr. That's not what I saw on the pitch. Despite his equalizing goal against Celta Vigo yesterday, Endrick produced an insufficient performance. Following his recent outings, the Brazilian was again annoying. Almost always poorly positioned, nonchalant, he was also technically imprecise. His only positive action was a successful cross in the 76th minute before taking advantage of a major foul by the opposing goalkeeper to score.